Welcome back to another video, hopefully a very exciting one, or at least a very exciting one for me. Now the car is painted and home, I want to get as much back on the car as possible, like I've mentioned previously, and start to make this thing look like a car again. I've got a brand new panel stand that I want to assemble. That'll help me sort of lay the parts out, keep them flat and protected while I'm putting things together. I've got some new parts from Kudos Motorsport. I've got all my bags out, seals and stuff, and obviously all my parts are still over there. I want to try and get as much back on this as possible in this video and make it start look like a car. So first things first, I'm going to jump in and build this stand, then we'll open some boxes and start putting this thing together. Alright, stand all built. I've got my spoiler. I've been dying to get this spoiler back on. It just doesn't look like a GTR without a spoiler. But I got these new boxes from Kudos. I'm pretty sure that's a rear high-cast delete kit for later on. But in here should be all new rear bar seals, spoiler seals, etc. So we'll get this open and we'll have a quick look. A few extra bits I actually forgot were coming on this order, so yeah. Front wheel bearing rebuild kits. This is a blank for the gearbox because I'm going Haltech dash with a GPS sensor. I have to block off the speedo, and then these are all the clip sets for the side skirts. So really excited to want to try and get the side skirts on as well, and the little bump rubbers for the fuel flap. But these are the seals that go down the back. Down the back of the quarter panel for the rear bar, so we can get them on both sides. We've got new ones of them, and then these obviously go on the bottom of the spoiler, and we've got new ones for each side. So we'll get these out, get these on the spoiler, and get the spoiler on the car. Spoilers back on, realign the boot a little bit just to get it opening and closing very nicely. So the gaps are fairly well even, give or take, but flush on the top and bottom, on the face and on the bottom, sorry. So happy with that, and it's opening and closing really nicely. So spoilers on, moving down I want to do the tail lights now. So I need to put the tail light surrounds back on the tail lights. I had these re-cleared, so basically just lightly rubbed back, and then just a clear coat over the front when we did the flow coat. I'll insert a before clip here. So as you can see, before they sort of seemed dull and a bit scratchy, and then re-cleared, they look basically brand new. So once the surrounds go back on, although the surrounds are a bit dusty from sitting, essentially we've got brand new taillights again. So when I get the surrounds on, I got all the little screws to do that. On the back of the tail lights and on the beaver panel where it goes around on the car. If you worked on a car like this before, you would have realised it's got this black sticky sealer that never goes off. I think it's called Butyl or Butyl, B-U-T-Y-L, if that's the right way to say it. Basically, it's a rubberized sealant that doesn't go off and acts as a seal. So the idea being that you would start in the middle of the tail light at the bottom and go the whole way around one seal, come back to the bottom, and then no water can get in around your tail light, basically. So I do have some new stuff here. You can get it new still. Kudos had it. I'm sure you can get it from Nissan or whatnot. You can still get it. It is a little bit more expensive. I went for an aftermarket equivalent of the exact same size. It was a bit cheaper. So I'm going to get these lights together, get them cleaned up. I want to get the new sealer on, and I want to get the tail lights in next. start making this thing look like a car. Alright, all done. Cleaned hands up mostly with brake cleaner. Like, it is a bit sticky and does stick to things. It's stuck to the table, but it's come off with brake cleaner. I sort of cleaned my hands a bit. Comes off with brake cleaner, but the old stuff probably didn't look too bad. But because the taillights have been in the car for a while, obviously you get a bit of dirt sort of sitting in the top of it. So the top of the sealer that was already on there was a bit dirty and firm. So like maybe that wasn't going to seal as well. And the taillights have definitely been out of this car at some point before. I know one quarter panel had already been repaired and painted before I got the car. I found those old repairs, actually both repairs. There was Japanese repairs in one quarter and some other repairs in another quarter. So like that's all been fixed now, but these taillights have definitely been out of the car before. So the seal has been broken. So putting them back in, knowing that I've got fresh sealer, I'm sort of hoping it's just one less thing I have to worry about. So this is the top of the taillight on both of them. I started underneath, and as you would have seen, one consecutive strip the whole way around, and then I've just sort of smushed it together underneath on both of them. So they're all sealed. I'm going to get these surrounds on and then get the tail lights in the car before we move on to anything else. Really happy with the way they've turned out. They look new. I'm very happy. So time to get them in the car. One more piece of the puzzle. I guess the rear bar's next. So I'm gonna get the bar ready, and then we might do the N1 boot lip as well. Alright, for the purpose of this exercise, I'll put the rear on first. I do think it goes in the bar and goes on at the same time. There's holes here for like a clip or something, and there was little holes in the bottom of the Rio. But I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get my number plate lights plugged in because the loom doesn't seem very long. So yeah, for this, I'll do it this way. The bar does slide into the Rio, still bolts and clips on both sides, bracket through the center of the beaver panel as well. So, time to put the bar on. I mean, the inside of it's a little bit dirty. I could give it a clean. It's not going to matter. The car's going to get a thorough clean once it's all back together anyway. But I really want to get the bar on. But before I can do that, I've got the new seals. Got the new seals from Kudos. Obviously, they mimic the shape of the bar if you get them the right way around. And they've got to go down the edge of the quarter panel. So they were removed for paint. I've got brand new ones. I need to try and line them up and work out exactly where they go. The stickers can go on. Sorry, the rubbers can go on. Then the bumper bar can go on. We'll get this all buttoned up. Slowly starting to take shape. So super exciting. all done for now. Extremely happy the way it's starting to all come together. It's starting to look like a car again. I think with the spoiler on it, it definitely makes it look like a GTR. Like, I don't know. For me, obviously it's a GTR spoiler. Without it, it just looked different. It looked odd. It's been so long, it nearly looks a little bit odd now. But starting to take shape. Super, super excited. I was going to do my boot lip next. Double-sided tape underneath on each edge. And I was going to put a little bit of a bead of urethane or something in between just to sort of help it stick. I just sat it there as a trial fit, just to make sure it was going to fit before I tried to put it on. And it, perhaps with the heat of the booth, when it got painted, it has straightened and slightly lost its shape. So it doesn't fit as well as what I had it trial fitted before we painted the vehicle. So I'm going to leave the boot lip for now and I'm going to come back to it. So if we are moving down the car, obviously the next step is the door and side skirts. I might quickly try and do a bit of work on the doors. Maybe get the motors and the handles and everything back in them. Perhaps even run the wiring through the door and just keep moving down the side. Slowly coming together. Door handles are now in with all the rods, open, closing, locking if I need to. Just put the fuel flap in. So that with the rear end, we're now starting to make progress and it is starting to look like a car, which I'm super happy about. Next thing that I want to do is my side skirt extensions. One of the new pieces that I'm adding to the car that I'm probably most excited about to see what it's going to look like with the wheels and everything when it's finished. So I've got the side skirt extensions here. I sat them up against the side of the quarter panels the other day and they were sticking out a little bit. I sort of think they've just changed shape sort of while they've been sitting and or the heat of the booth after they got painted. So they've been sitting flat. They should be fine now. So I do want to double-sided tape them and get them on. I've got new clips and everything, new hardware from Kudos. But before I do that, I've got some clear PPF film from Bush Wraps. I've seen it advertised online. It's a DIY, do-it-yourself clear protective film kit for four-wheel drives. I noticed that they offer off-cut sections. So I've bought a couple of off-cut packs to hopefully get me some clear PPF that I'm going to put on the ends of my side skirts and my rear spats. So front and rear. So either side of the wheel will hopefully have some clear PPF on the ends. I've never used it before. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I got a fresh Stanley knife. I got a spray bottle. I ordered some solution. I want to get this on the side skirt ends before I get them on the car. I really want to get these N1 spats on today and obviously the middle section of the side skirts. Dying to see what it looks like. So I'm going to dive in now. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take, but yeah. Let's get this wrap out and start putting it on. done. So I did my N1 spats, and I've also done my pods. I found it easier to put it down and trace the shape and make a template and cut that out with scissors before spraying it and putting it on. It made it a lot easier to use. I thought I was going to be able to sort of put the film on and trim it quite nicely with a razor blade. It was a little bit harder than I thought, so template definitely worked better for me. So both the pods are done now and both of the spats. So I want to get some double-sided tape on the spats, try and get them on the car. I'm going to put a little bit of urethane on them as well, just to help hold them in place. I opted not to drill the holes for the clips in my quarter panels. Obviously it's not a genuine N1 anyway, but I just figured more holes, more chance of rust, so, you know, opening things up to potentially going wrong. So I've left it, but double-sided tape and urethane I think will be suffice. Like I spoke about in a last video when I sanded and trial fitted these, I'll use the screws at the front and it'll be a blob of urethane at the back on them as well, just because they're not the OEM ones, because the OEM ones are quite expensive. So yes, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to get some double-sided tape on these side skirts. I really want to get the side skirts on today and see what they're going to look like on the back. Here we have it. Side skirts and spats and stuff are all on. I've just removed the masking tape that was holding it together for a couple of days. Just trying to keep it in place while everything dried. I didn't want it to move, I didn't want to risk it. I had a little bit of trouble with the side skirt on this side, so I ended up using some more clips than what I should have, so I've got to order some more clips so the side skirt's not on the other side. But fuel flaps, spats and everything are on this side as well. Big shout out to my mate Matt, who came over the other day and helped me with the boot lip. So we took the spoiler back off, marked and drilled the holes. So now the N1 boot lip is on the car. So the rear end is pretty well all coming together. There's just one more thing I need to do. For the purpose of this, I can sit my number plate there. Can sit that there for now. My reverse lights aren't in because I do want to get them re-cleared just so they're fresh when they go in as well. But there's one more thing I want to do to complete this rear end. So when I stripped the car nearly a year ago, I made stencils of all my badges. So this is the stencil for the GTR badge on the boot, and I made stencils for my guard badges as well. There is probably stencils out there. If you buy a new badge, it might come with a stencil. There's probably measurements online, etc. But I made a stencil of mine, and I want to get this GTR badge back on. So I've got my OEM badge. I've already rebacked it with the 3M very high bond double-sided tape. I did inquire about getting a new badge. Unfortunately, the black ones for an R32 are no longer available, and Kudos had run out of stock. So on the R32 boot badge, the body color, or basically it's black in and around the letters. If you ever see a white 32 GTR, it'll be white in there, silver, etc. So unfortunately the black one's no longer available, but that's okay. This is my original one. So I'm gonna get the double-sided tape off, use the stencil and put it back on the car. There we have it, the rear end of an R32 GTR. I'm going to leave it there for this video. I know I say it a lot and I keep saying it, but I'm absolutely stoked because after so long, it's so good to see visual achievements of this car coming back together. You know, This N1 boot lip was never on the car, so I sort of trial fitted it, but I didn't know what it was going to look like. The rear spats I trial fitted, didn't know what they were going to look like. The sides as well, and now it's all coming together. It's painted, it's going back together for the last time, and I'm just super excited. Really, really happy that it's coming together. So now the GTR badge is on, my number plate can sit there. It's starting to look like a car. Obviously, I've still got to put the boot badge on, and there's still a lot to do on the car, but that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.